Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Iofina CEO, Dr. Tom Becker. Tom, good to speak with you today. You're out the first half corporate update, and it looks like it's been a good period for the company with increased production, strong demand, and strong prices too.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Always great to be on Proactive. And yeah, we had a good first half of the year, pretty much within our expectations. Our production was 276 metric tons of crystalline iodine in the half, and that's within our expected range. And really looking forward to executing our growth plans here moving forward. I think our team did a nice job executing what we expected in the first half of the year while continuing to build our new iodine plant, IO10, which we expect to have online here soon.
Of course, because that crystalline methyl iodine was produced from your 6 plants in Oklahoma, so the current plants, how will that new plant impact second half production, Tom?
Yeah, so we expect second half production to be significantly higher than the first half of the year due to a number of factors, right? We always have a little bit of lower production in the first half of the year compared to the second half of the year. The brines that we utilize are at lower temperature, and it affects our ability to get iodine out of the brines at the lower temperature. So efficiencies are a little bit down in the first half. And usually there's a little bit less oil and gas produced due to weather conditions, which affects us too. But in the second half of the year, the run rate that we had at the latter end of the first half has been very strong at our existing plants. And as I think you mentioned and I mentioned, we're building a new plant, which you expect to be online here in the latter part of the third quarter. It's called IO10. It's a plant in this new core area where we build our recent plant, IO number 9. It's expected to add some significant production in the second half of the year. Once it becomes operationally and fully functional, we expect on an annualized basis for this plant to produce another 100 to 150 metric tons for us each year. So extremely excited that that's going to be happening here in the next few months. And, we're going to continue to build these kind of plants and grow our business.
In the meantime, Tom, you've also signed multi-year supply agreements for iodine-rich water, and that's to 2 of your current plants. So that, I suppose, enables consistent production. Are you looking at extending this to your other plants?
So we have a number of different partners that we work with to provide us the brine water, which is a byproduct of their oil and gas production. We renegotiated a couple of contracts that we told the market about a few months ago, and this does give us long-term stability at those particular plants. We're also working with that particular brine supply partner and another brine supply partner on a couple of projects that will hopefully add more water to our existing plants. Can't say that that's going to happen for sure, but by redoing these contracts, our partners are even more incentivized to bring us more brine water. The better that we do, Iofina does at producing iodine, the better off our partners are as well. So we think it was a good long-term thing for our business. We'll continue to work with our multiple partners in seeing what we can do to maximize the amount of brine that's available at our legacy plants and continue to build these new plants to even increase our production further.
Well, with good progress for IO10 set to open in the third quarter, Tom, how about your next plant, IO11? How's that progressing?
Yeah, so we've been talking about IO11 for a bit of a time here, and I will say that here recently we've had some even more progress for the negotiations for IO11. So we have multiple sites that we're working on for future IOZORB plants. We have a preferred site for where we would like to see IO11 go up, and it would also be in the core area, a new core area for us, where near IO9 and IO10. We've made some significant progress. We're very confident we'll be able to get this deal done with that brine supply partner and get that under construction this year. So very optimistic for the growth of the company. We have some expectations to be able to get our production levels up to over 1,000 metric tons in the next couple of years, and we will be continuing to reinvest in our iodine production in order to meet those goals.
Tom, as you go into the second half of the year, do you see demand remaining strong and iodine prices also?
Yeah, so the first half of the year was, from a sales standpoint, was pretty much as we expected. And when we do our budgets for the year, we look at individual products such as our crystalline iodine, the derivatives that we make at Iofina Chemical, such as hydrotic acid and methyl iodide and some other products that we do that contain iodine. And we also look at our non-iodine based compounds that we do at Iofina Chemical, which for example, help biocidal industries and semiconductor industries. And I'll say that the sales mix and expectation of those three categories, the iodine derivatives, and the non-iodine derivatives, are pretty much in line where we expected. In 2023, the iodine market was fairly strong with respect to X-ray contrast media, which is the largest single use of iodine, and some other applications kind of waned a bit. I think in 2024, we've seen some of those, while X-ray contrast has been strong and remains strong, we've seen some of those other applications come back, like LCD screens, automotive applications of iodine. So we believe demand for iodine is stronger now than it has been. And we're actually expecting to, and I've already seen some slight increases in pricing in the third quarter, which we expect to continue throughout the second half of the year.
Tom, I hope you'll keep us posted on any progress. Thank you very much for the update today.
Thank you very much.
That's Dr. Tom Becker. He's the CEO of Iofina.